just give us a walking rumour of guys who are available again, or not available, so to speak?
Basically, we're selecting from the same bunch of players that we did last week. So John Davies is still has got an outside bet of being available, but we'll make the final call on that tomorrow.
George and all?
No, he's still a couple of weeks away, George.
How disappointing is that, or are you comfortable that you've got what you need?
Well, I'm really comfortable with the group that we've got to work with, absolutely. It would be nice to have a wider group, and certainly George and John have really put their hands up and put in some sterling performances. But having said that, we probably put one of our best performances of the season in last week, and neither of them played, so you have to give credit to the players who did.
Would they have struggled to get in this team anyway?
Well, they might have, and it's great to have that level of competition, and that's the one thing that we've been striving to do here for the last couple of seasons, and we eventually got somewhere near where we need to be.
How have you dealt with the euphoria after last weekend?
There's no euphoria in terms of ourselves. We've got a long way to go. We've got a lot to work on, but we've seen a lot of what we planned probably at the end of last season, where the whole process started coming through for us. And there's a lot of pleasing stuff in our game, but we know that there's a long way to go. We're nowhere near being as good as we can be, and that's encouraging from our point of view. But we've got some stern tests ahead, and there's none more sterner than this game on Sunday, and we'll really find out exactly where we are after this match.
How do you deal with Leicester? You were coached against them a number of times and just about come on the wrong side. How do you deal with this team, and what do you think of this team compared to the ones that you've faced in the past?
Well, they're a very good team. They're well organised. They play a bit more rugby maybe than those lesser teams of the past, and I think the new laws allow them to do that, and most teams are adopting a more expansive style of play these days as a result of the interpretation of the laws. But one of the focuses this year has been about us and challenging ourselves against what we expect of ourselves. So as much as we're very mindful of the opposition and very respectful, the best way that we feel we can show that respect is by actually making sure that our game is spot on. So,
do you think there are many other teams in Britain trying to play that sort of reactive game you're just talking about, or do you think that you're one of the few?
Well, I do think there's lots of sides in Britain who are trying to play a more expansive game simply because of the laws. They allow you to be able to hold on for the ball for longer than maybe in the past. In terms of our game, I don't know. I think I can look at lots of sides, and within seeing 3 or 4 clips of them, you've got a rough idea of what they're trying to do. And I think that can be a strength and it can be a weakness. And we've decided to maybe to bring a different sort of view to it. As I say, it is high risk, and if you're under pressure and you're not accurate and you're not creating quick ball, you have to have a different type of game to go to. So we're trying to build that into the team, and it takes a lot of doing because it takes a lot of on-field management. It takes a lot of work in the background in order to get the calling system in place. And you need players on the park who can react particularly well as well. So we've given some freedom to our key decision makers to be able to do that.
It helps you've got someone like Stephen Jones on the field.
It helps if you've got people like Stephen Jones, Rhys Pleastrand, Regan King, because they've all got to step up at times during the game and take that responsibility. So you need your ball players to be able to take command of the game and actually get the team to work around them.
Nigel, have you taken the pressure off in Europe this year in the respect that perhaps in previous years Europe has been the be-all and end-all here?
Yeah, I think it's certainly been a conscious decision that we have put a lot of emphasis on Europe. But when you look at Europe, it's a relatively small part of the season. It's a hugely important part of the season, and you challenge yourselves against the best teams in the Northern Hemisphere. So it's a great tournament, and in many ways it looks after itself. So that's why our focus probably has been on the league, because we felt that as a group of players, they would always bring themselves and focus on Europe anyway because of the importance of it and the intensity of the matches.
Does that help the way that players are expressing themselves?
Possibly, it's early days yet. It's one game into the tournament. There's a long way to go, and what we can't become is too predictable either. And we obviously had a lot of plaudits for the way we played last weekend. the opposition had something to do with that as well, and we were able to take advantage of that. You know, Leicester would probably want to be a little bit meaner in terms of giving us opportunities, so we're going to have to react to that as well.
What does this game mean to you, Nigel, starting with Leicester?
Ever since I started coaching, really, you know, and in 2002, you know, that was a fabulous game of rugby, and obviously to lose it in the way we did was very hard at the time. But there's been some massive matches between the two clubs, and the region more latterly. And it's massive, it's exciting, it's a great place to go to in particular. You know, they have a brilliant following, and in many ways for the players it just raises their game. You know, I don't see Welford Road as a particularly intimidating place. I think for our players it actually helps raise their game.
Has it lost some of its aura, Nigel, from years gone by when they would have year after year when they never lost there? It's maybe not quite so hostile for opposition teams these days.
Well, I'm not sure. I still think they've got a pretty good home record. You know, they're still very tough to beat there. They're still a very, very good side. And you know, some people are saying maybe they're not as good as they've been in previous years, but I don't know. I'm not sure. You know, when you look at detail at the videotapes of them, they're still a pretty good side. And it's going to take. We know we're going to have to be right on top of our game to win on Sunday. Anything less than that will just not be good enough. So it's a real challenge for us. We're confident. You know, we played some good rugby, but that's not going to be enough on Sunday. We've got to bring probably the intensity that we brought to the Ospreys game and some of the finishing ability that we brought to the Pepinor game, and we've got to sort of marry those two aspects of our game if we want to get anything out of this match on Sunday.
Richard Topwell is compared to, referred to Dan Carter, Quade Cooper, Matt Cooper. How do you manage a world-class player like that?
Yeah, you know, we don't pay too much attention to individual players because it's a team effort at the end of the day, and you'll rely on the players around him for him to actually to be able to create any opportunities. Obviously, you know, 10's pivotal to any side, and both in attack and defence, you do look to give him a little bit more attention there. We have to be very mindful of him, and as I said, we're very respectful of Leicester and the quality of players like Toby Flood that they have. And the most respect we can show them is just turning up with our number one game on Sunday.
Where do you expect Leicester's main strength to come from?
Well, they'd have a very good set piece, and we're going to have to match them there. We're going to have to make sure we can secure some good quality ball from that facet of play. And I think that, you know, they're going to look to take advantage in that area. We can't go much further than that, to be honest, from our point of view. We've got to deal with them there, and I do believe that you know, we've got a pack of forwards now who can do that. But also, if we're loose in our game, they will come at us. They've definitely got more intent to attack. They go through the phases particularly well. And you know, what we've got to do, as we know from last week's performance, is without the ball we've got to step it up several notches, because we just fell off soft tackles against Pepinor, and we cannot afford to do that against Leicester. That's the big area of the game that we've got to step up. I think the occasion will help us, the intensity of the match will help us, and the fact that we've come off a particularly poor performance in that area last week should help us as well.
Leicester traditionally have a very strong front row, and how do you see that battle?
Yeah, they've got a very strong front row, absolutely they have, but I think so have we. Matthew Rees, Justin's playing some of his best rugby of his career at the moment. They give us a real solid platform, and Rees around the park is as good as anything, so it's going to be a really interesting battle there. We know from a set piece perspective, it's going to dictate a lot of how this game goes. They've always prided themselves, Leicester, on that facet of play. I think one of the things that they look to do is dominate. Simple as that. I think it's a word that they use. They've got a winning mentality, and anything but is not good enough for them. And that's great, because we're going up there, and we're not going to shy away from that challenge, but we respect them, and we know it's going to be tough.
You must be happy with the way Reece has come in. It's like a power position.
Yeah, he's played full back for us before, but Reece, more than anything else, is a very good footballer. He's bright, he's intelligent, technically excellent, as good as it gets, really, in world terms. And he's shown what he's capable of now. I think he's developed a mental edge to his game, which he probably didn't have 18 months ago. But the fact that we've played him and he's played in some high pressure games for us, has allowed him to develop himself, you know, and right now he's playing some good stuff.
Warren Gatland names his spot on Monday. Nigel, is this a shop window for some players to?
Absolutely, you know, I think traditionally with the Welsh squad they have left it till after the European fixtures because you get to see these players playing at almost international level intensity. For my money, if not more so on occasions, you know, in some of the games. So, you know, that's why they do it on purpose, and anybody who sticks their hands in these couple of games will obviously have to come into contention.
Have players stuck their hands up already, do you think?
Yeah, I think there's been a few. Yeah, you know, I don't want to put the pressure on anybody, and we'll see. I think, you know, Saturday for us was great. You know, we were very pleased with generally how we played, realising there's lots of areas to put right. But this is a step up again, and you know, the players that come through this will certainly be putting themselves in the position to play international rugby.
I can just ask you, you brought one of the older heads, Vernon Cooper, into the lineup. Can I just ask you what he brings to the side?
Yeah, well, you know, Vernon is very experienced to begin with. He's a very bright rugby player. He understands the game very well. He helps manage the team on the field. On their line-out, you know, he's very clever. He picks up where the ball's likely to go, and you know, he managed that area particularly well. He always turns up in the right spot, you know, because he leads the game. Maybe he's got to lead it a bit better now because maybe his legs aren't what they used to be. But Vernon, I thought he was superb last week. You know, particularly for 50 minutes, he gave us everything he got. And you know, that's one of the things that I've asked all the players is not to hold anything in their tank. If they're tired and they can't go anymore, we'll bring somebody else on. But when they're on the field, they've got to give it everything they've got.